I want to take a moment to rein in our crazy a little bit. There's good crazy and there's bad crazy, and let's squash the bad. There was this video I seen on Instagram that's renting space in my head, or living in my head rent free, whatever the saying is, that I initially got halfway through and just scrolled past, like, who's this butthead? It's like, doesn't pertain to me. But what they said just sunk in, and it bothered me and it angered me. And I thought about it all weekend. Now, I don't like to talk bad about other creators, so I won't mention who it was, but he was on a Whittle Waddo doing a Whittle Mule, and his whole thing was, he goes, I am so sick of artists pretending their life is just one big happy ball of blah 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 blah. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. And he goes, you need to tell your viewers how much hard work goes into it. Like I said, I just scrolled past it. I didn't pay it no mind. No minds were paid to it. But it lived rent-free in my head all weekend. All weekend. And it just irks me so bad when people see somebody in a good spot and they want to pull them down. They want to pull them off the ladder, pull them down to their level. See what happens when you knock happy people down. Your brain goes, I just leveled up. No, you didn't. You just pulled somebody down to your level. You're stagnating. You're not going anywhere by taking away people's happy spot. And I was like, secondly, it's like, consumers, people who buy art, don't really care about the process. At least what I've found. When I'm talking with people at a show, they're like, oh wow, that's real awesome. I start going into, my thought process, and their eyes just glaze over. They don't want to know the hardships. And I know new artists need to understand that there's a struggle, but there's a better way of going about it than just living in the muck and living in misery and pulling others down. And there's a term for it that you probably heard me use before. I've used it in videos. It's called a crab in a basket. I don't know if it's true or not, but the analogy goes is when you catch crabs and you put them in a bucket or you put them in a basket, you don't have to put a lid on that basket, because what happens is the crabs at the top, they start to crawl out, but the ones down below grab them and pull them back into the basket. People don't like to see others succeed, and people don't like to see others in a happy spot. So those kind of people, we gotta pull it in a little bit. Ignore that kind of stuff, or just say, hey man, quit killing the good vibes. Quit killing the good vibes. Yes, art is hard. There's plenty of ways you can go and figure out how art is hard. Same for life. Life is hard. Maybe people like making happy content to, better and enrich others versus just staying in the muck like Atreyu over there. That's the problem. That's the problem. You're mired in the muck and you're trying to climb out of it. And you got all these drive-by snarkies, and yeah, I'll tell you about drive-by snarkies. Somebody you want to put emotional distance from. Is anytime you show them something, they say things like, "It must be nice." It must be nice to have that kind of talent. You explain it. It's like, well, it takes 10 years, but yeah, it's a developed talent. Next time you show them something, they say it over and over again. And it sounds like a compliment, but it's not. Anytime you hear "must be nice" in their head, they're like, you're privileged. You're privileged to have that kind of talent. That's when you pull out the old troll and you kind of get snarkified. But if somebody's just making a video showing their art, jumping out from over the couch, going, hey, life's all peachy, let them do their thing, let their viewers do their thing. That video was nothing more than emotional clickbait. You know, I see like 1 out of 200 people is probably in a bad spot, or they're in a bad mood that day, and they watch that video and their knee-jerk, my knee-jerk was to scroll past it. But if I was in a different mindset, I would have been like, yeah, I'm in a bad mood. Other people be in a bad mood too. Like, repost. You're my buddy. I like rolling around in the mud and filth with you. Be excellent to each other. And if somebody's climbing up, push them, help them, applaud them, be there for each other. Our society right now, it's just so stuck in the mud. We're perils and swine. We're just swine rolling around in our own sadness. Most of us, some of us. Maybe half of it. No, it's the 10%. There's only 10% that's that negative. I have optimism that it's 90%. Everybody's going through the peaks and valleys. We have ups and downs and everything. But we like seeing the 10% of the a-holes that just want to complain. And it's true. It gets more views. It's easy views because hate spreads like wildfire. There are 2 resources that grow with uses in the whole universe. It's like hatred and anger, light and love. When you demonstrate hatred and anger towards people, you say something mean, you do a drive-by snarky, it puts them in a bad mood, and then they slam the door in somebody else's face. Only resource that multiplies the more it gets used. And the same can be for positivity and love. Is you show somebody kindness, you smile at a stranger, you open the door, you help somebody that's fallen, then they're going to be like, yeah, there is good things. And then they're going to go hold the door for somebody else. In most cases, I mean, there's some exceptions to the rule. But anywho, I had to get that off my chest, or I had to tell you guys why that video bothered me. And it's off my chest now, and I don't have to think of it as much. Of course, well, you guys leave comments sometimes, so maybe I'll think about it a little bit more. But I don't want to. I want to move on. I want to move on to painting Amelia Earhart portrait. I got to do it in like 2 weeks. And I'm going to be doing it on canvas over here. I'm going to do a digital piece and a canvas piece. I'm doing the digital piece to warm up my mind so I don't have to work out as many issues on the canvas. And I'll pull my arm in here. All right. Anyhow, that's all I got for this segment. Where's my bird of prey? Where's my bird of prey?
Philosophers and supplicants, merchants and kings,
I'll probably cut that part out.